Thousands. Now is your chance to lock in savings before it's too late. So don't wait. Visit GeraldJonesHonda.com to find your new ride.
Weinberger's Furniture is making room for the new during our re-merchandising sale.
New furniture, new mattresses, new rugs, and accessories, even a whole new department.
You have to see our latest styles and fresh new looks for every room in your home.
Enjoy discounts on all our furniture, including our new patio collection, just in time for spring.
Great styles, great savings, one incredible sale.
Can you save at Weinberger's re-merchandising sale? Yes, you can.
For the best in unique men's clothing.
Augusta, you can't handle the roof.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Well, millions of dollars for May Park are finally being used 2 years after Augusta got the money. We have the latest on how it'll be spent.
And speaking of money, you may qualify for a tax rebate in Georgia, even if you don't live in the Peach State. We asked, and we've got the answers for you in just a few minutes. Good evening and happy Wednesday. I'm Zaina Halliburton.
And I'm Will Rio. Easter weekend is nearly here, and it's gearing up to be a hot one. Your First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale is live for us in the Weather Center. Riley, how hot are we talking?
I think we could get close to 90 this weekend, 89 for a high Saturday, and most likely cool off a couple degrees by Easter Sunday, but that's only going to be thanks to a lot of clouds that will be pushing through. So it's going to be a cloudy Easter, but luckily rain-free for any Easter egg hunts, church services going on, looking to be nice and dry all the way through the weekend. But you can see by next Monday, especially if we were to extend this to next Tuesday, those rain chances do start to make their way back into the forecast. Now for tonight and to tomorrow morning, it's going to be chilly again. We are expecting temperatures to drop as low as the low 40s by daybreak tomorrow morning. So if you're going to be up early tomorrow morning, I would say heading out the door between, say, 5 and 8 a.m., I would definitely make sure you have a jacket with you. But you'll also need the sunglasses, hat as well. Make sure you have some sun protection tomorrow. That UV index will be running in the very high range, so very easy to get some sunburn this time of year. Live look outside, though, we do have clear skies, and temperatures right now are close to 73 degrees. So if you're heading out the door, we are going to stay with temps in the 70s the next few hours, but cool off once we get past sunset. Don't burn the rest of today. We still have these special fire danger statements in effect for most of our Georgia counties. Very dry air in place, so please don't burn. Have an update for you on the weekend and those storm chances next week in just about 10 minutes.
New this evening, a months-long undercover investigation into a massage parlor in Aiken leading to 2 employees being charged with prostitution. The Aiken Department of Public Safety says it's been investigating Golden Fingers Massage Parlor on Silver Bluff Road after several public tips. Those tips alleging the business was offering sexual services in exchange for payment. On Monday, police say 2 employees were arrested and charged with prostitution. This comes about a year and a half after a massive series of raids in Aiken County where 7 massage parlors were connected to human trafficking, sex labor, and rape.
Well, big news for your wallet. Pay Georgia income taxes, but live across the river in South Carolina. So when Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a massive tax rebate, we reached out to the Department of Revenue to see if that counts. And the good news here is it does. Here's how you qualify. You have to have filed your taxes for the state of Georgia in both 2023 and 24. Single or married filers with separate returns will get a $250 tax rebate. Heads of households will get a $375 in tax rebates. Married couples filing a joint return will get $500 in rebates. And now we know that taxable non-residents and past year or part year residents, will get something back too. The amount will be prorated in the same way other taxes are, but of course you'll still get something. The Department of Revenue tells us those who filed already could see refunds being issued in late May and early June. You'll get it the same way you filed your tax returns. The large majority of those were direct deposits.
It's been 2 years since $2.2 million in grant money was allocated for May Park. Now, Augusta commissioners are finally moving forward with the first steps towards some much-needed renovations.
Your city government reporter, Sydney Hood, joins us live from there now. Sydney, these upgrades are long overdue and much needed.
Well,
Potential is one word that neighbors use to describe May Park because to the average eye, all of this just looks like another park. But to the neighbors I spoke to around here, they see life here and they want to see even more life moving forward. Once the heartbeat of this neighborhood.
It was a lot of children meetups right there. Before phones and all that, get on your bike, walk.
Javon Carey grew up just a few blocks away.
It used to be swamp full of children and families.
Today, she walks these paths with her dad.
I see potential. They need a total renovation of May Park.
David Carey still lives nearby. He remembers what the park was and what could be.
Take our advice and renovate this whole area and put a first class, on the other side, a first class sports complex in this area.
Plans for May Park are in motion.
Everything's in place, and all you have to do, all you need is the willpower to do it. The willpower to do it, because everything's in place.
It's just a matter of waiting.
And once we get our leaders and they hear the voices of the people, we hope and pray they understand. A lot of us have passion. Everybody may not be in front of the camera, but you would love to see your community growing and generational wealth passed on to the kids of homes and just a chance to be in leadership positions.
Because this is home.
And you don't take pride in nothing else other than home.
Perhaps no one has more pride than this father-daughter duo.
I will leave you one thing. Robert F. Kennedy. Some people see things as they are and say, why? I see things as they never were and say, why not?
And like we mentioned earlier, the grant funding going towards the May Park improvements that is set aside from the American Rescue Funding Plan.
Thanks, Sydney, for staying on top of that. And it's not just May Park that we're waiting for improvements on. Dias Park got $6.5 million and Boykin Road Park got $1.6 million at the same time as May Park. We're still waiting on much-needed changes for those parks as well.
One update tonight on a 12 on your side investigation. We're learning two different bills at the Georgia State House did not survive sine die 2 weeks ago. We've been tracking House Bill 225 and House Bill 651 for months now. Both have to do with automated school zone speed cameras. Representative Dale Washburn, who authored House Bill 225, tells us there were last-minute amendments made to both bills, which was not approved by both chambers. But this doesn't mean that the bills are dead. Washburn says they can be continued next session. House Bill 225 looked to completely ban private camera companies from operating in the state of Georgia. House Bill 651 looked to create tighter guidelines for the speed cameras. Representative Washburn tells me he will be making a decision on how to proceed very soon. Now, 12 on your side's investigation was used in testimony at the State House. We first uncovered local governments are making hundreds of thousands of dollars off Georgia drivers. In Burke County, they're on pace to make more than $1 million in 1 year. Right now, we're still battling with Burke County's contracted camera company for access to citations mailed out to drivers. Stay tuned for updates. And speaking of traffic cameras over in Burke County, funding from the school zone cameras are being transferred to help fund the renovations of the detention center. On April 6, Burke County commissioners voted to move $706,000 to the renovation project. Commissioners tell us the current law allows them to move these funds over to be approved and used for public safety initiatives. They say the school zone cameras are raising nearly $1 million a year, like we said, and using this money will help offset how much property tax and general fund money they have to use.
The technology industry is constantly growing and changing, and here in the CSRA, you can see that everywhere, from SRS to Plant Vogel, the Cyber Center in Fort Eisenhower, not to mention the dozens of smaller private tech firms in our area. And with this growing field, more students are choosing STEM courses, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. Your Audrey Dickerber joins us live from the newsroom now. And Audrey, an event today at the Georgia Cyber Center highlighted just how many students are thirsty to grow in these fields.
Students were very excited to be there, but it was also about introducing them into a field that has a lot of jobs open, but not enough people to fill that. By introducing younger generations to it, they're moving one step closer to helping the industry and helping many kids potentially find their dream job too. Building new opportunities.
It's really a lot of fun to just learn about it, just see what I might be able to do.
It's nice to just see it all, nice to experience it. In a field that needs more people.
We want to build confidence in these students and let them know that they're able to do this.
Hoping to develop the workforce.
The way that we want to help shrink that workforce gap is we need to educate these students.
The Georgia Cyber Innovation and Training Center says the United States is in desperate need of technical talent in all STEM fields, as our nation is slowly losing its global edge in technology. They say there is currently over 457,000 open cybersecurity jobs across the country, but they're hoping to change that.
They are capable of doing cybersecurity. They're capable of working in technology. They're capable of doing things that are innovative. And we want to make sure that we bring them into the atmosphere, and the ecosystem has been built here so that they can see other people doing these things, and they can see a great mix in demographics here.
Leaving it up to kids like Izzy.
I may want to minor in that, and I would like to major in astronomy when I grow up.
And Cameron.
The two things that I really want to go into are either oncology or this. This would be a lot of fun as well.
To help change the world when they grow up.
It's really fun. I would recommend anybody who's into STEM to do it.
They're really wanting to show students that everything they could need to grow in this field is right here in Augusta through AU, Augusta Tech, Cyber Center, and more.
And certainly the best place to be if you are interested in those fields. It's so nice to see the kids out learning more, getting those hands-on activities, and really seeing if this is the field they want to go into. Certainly the ones you spoke to, they seem for sure. Thanks for that, Audrey.
New today, SLED is investigating the use of force by at least one McCormick County Sheriff's deputy during an arrest last month. It happened on March 15th, and the Sheriff's Office is the one who called SLED to investigate. News 12 has requested the reports related to this arrest and what prompted SLED to be called in. We'll update you as we work to learn more here. Riley?
Well, we are going to drop our temperatures back down close to 40 by early tomorrow morning. So a chilly start to our Thursday, but we're really going to notice a warming trend heading into Easter weekend. Full forecast coming up.
Putting your feet in someone else's shoes, a local nonprofit is using a simulation to help raise awareness for the challenges people face when re-entering society after prison. We're showing you how next.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
It's time to celebrate the pre-grand opening of the all-new Milton Rubin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Come check out our all-new showroom. Get huge savings on an incredible selection. Trucks, SUVs, muscle cars, and more. All priced to move fast. The freedom of choice is yours, but you better get them before they're gone. During the pre-grand opening sale at the all-new Milton Rubin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Wrdw.com. Click, click.
Hi, Suzanne Lilly Henny-Michael here with Hardwood Floors and More. We truly appreciate the opportunities we've had to work in so many homes over the years. And now we want to invite you to our showroom to discover why we are the company that friends recommend. Our quality products, knowledgeable staff, and the tremendous skill set of our technicians is what has made Hardwood Floors and More the most trusted locally owned business for over 30 years. Hardwood Floors and More, so much more in store for you.
Hey Georgia, have you heard the news? The state's hands-free law is saving lives. But more lives can be saved if everyone would put down their phone when they are behind the wheel. And if you don't comply with the law, Georgia law enforcement officers have a simple solution. Hands-free, or we will hand you one of these. Smartphones make our lives easier, but they can also put our lives at risk by taking our focus off the road. That's why the Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to know when to hit send.
Our First Alert commitment to you is the power of 5 meteorologists, all the tools, the latest technology, and the first team of 5 meteorologists. News 12's First Alert weather on your side.
Welcome back in, folks. Live look over SRP Park. This is going to be the place to be over the next couple of nights. We do have a game against the Pelicans starting at 7:05. Starting to see the first sign of fans trickle in here, so gates are now open. Temperatures are at 73 degrees, and if you are heading out to the ballpark tonight, we'll still be close to that number by first pitch. I would imagine around 7. We're still in the low 70s. Plenty of sun out there right now, but I would take a jacket with you if you do plan to head to the game tonight. As we close out the game, we'll most likely be in the mid-50s, so we'll feel a little bit cool out there once we do get past sunset, but a nice evening to be there along the river. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up in the low and mid 40s, so a chillier start to our Thursday morning, and expecting those chilly temps to be with us at least through around 8, 9 a.m. But by the time we get to around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're already hitting the low 60s, so it is going to be a quick rise with those temperatures throughout the day Thursday, and by the afternoon, we are expecting to be right near average, most likely a high temp near 79 degrees out there for your Thursday afternoon. Beautiful weather will continue on Friday and into our Easter weekend. Here's a look at those high temperatures for your Easter weekend. 89 degrees by Saturday, and not going to be too far behind on Sunday. The reason why our temperatures will just be a couple degrees cooler Sunday is more cloud cover. So it is going to be cloudy for any Easter plans, but luckily it does look to stay dry out there. But temperatures will be running well above average. Rain chances will hold out until we get to next week. Monday, I would say most of us look dry a good portion of our Monday, but possibly by Tuesday, Wednesday next week, a front does get closer, and that'll provide a little bit better opportunity for rain. Let's take a look at it. So this is one of our longer range models here. So just showing a few clouds by Saturday, increasing that cloud cover on Sunday. So it is going to be cloudy out there for any outdoor plans you have for Easter, but luckily no wet weather with that cloud cover. Once we get into Monday, still same general concept. I would say mostly cloudy skies, warm again. Most of the rain should hold off towards our west, at least through Monday afternoon. But by the time we get to around Monday evening, maybe a stray shower chance. But watch what happens on Tuesday. Our front is getting closer to the region. Will provide us a better opportunity for at least a scattered shower, maybe even a thunderstorm too. So that's a threat we're going to have to monitor once we get past the weekend. Here's your 7-day forecast. Chilly temps in the 40s tomorrow, but a beautiful afternoon on Thursday. Good Friday, looking a little bit warmer with highs back in the mid 80s, and then we'll keep those highs near 80 Saturday into early next week.
April is Second Chance Month, a time to raise awareness about the obstacles those returning from incarceration face. Today, the nonprofit Reinforce, which serves those who are justice impacted, held the Second Chance Conference. They're finding solutions and forming a conversation around what it's like to walk in the shoes of these individuals.
It has shown me how difficult it is to navigate the system, and how if you aren't facing one barrier, you're facing another.
Anna Atma is one of dozens of people participating in a re-entry simulation. They're given a new identity of someone who was once incarcerated and are now navigating the world around them.
So I am right now living as Stacy. I have a GED. I served 3 years in state prison for breaking and entering. And I have disability, $710 a month, but I live with a pen pal prison partner and his 2 children.
This is just one of many different scenarios people are in as they now have to work on completing their reentry goals, whether that's finding a job, housing, seeing a probation or parole officer, or even getting a state ID.
And we wanted this simulation to be hands-on because we really, really want the community to be immersed into what the reentry experience is like, in a hope for them to gain empathy.
And while many people were portraying the role of a justice-impacted individual, others were portraying the role of employees at a bank, counseling center, transportation facility, or DMV. All services someone who is returning from incarceration may need.
There was long lines formed at my station, and I could see the frustrations that it caused people. And a lot of people that went through the simulation mentioned that one of the first things that they needed to get was a state ID, which not a lot of people know.
Some people in the simulation were able to find jobs, others were able to get food and pay rent, while some simply ended back in jail.
I went to pay my restitution, and I was a week late, and I ended up in jail.
An eye-opening experience for everyone. District Attorney Jared Williams says it's important to break the cycle and help.
My question is, what can we do to make sure that that person doesn't come back? If all we're doing is chasing the conviction, then we're just kicking the can down the road. But if we start thinking about how we can rehabilitate and really change lives, we can save lives.
And like I mentioned, what an eye-opening experience. I wasn't participating, but even I was sitting there like, wow, people were getting turned away at a lot of these tables because, you need that state ID first before you can apply for a job. So what do you have to do? Well, if you don't have transportation, now I need to go pay for a bus ticket, go to the DMV, and then get another bus ticket, go back to my employer, my future employer, and it's a lot of obstacles that you do have to cross.
Yeah, you really do walk in their shoes and understand what they have to go through. And organizations like this are helping to end the cycle. We know that that's something that's so difficult to do, but it's necessary if you want to move forward.
Definitely, and it's good to know that there are organizations in our area helping these individuals. Reinforce hopes to do something like this again, so if you would like to participate yourself, please do. They are serving justice-impacted individuals, and if you are in need of resources, they are here to help you. They have an office downtown. We have information on how to reach out to Reinforce on our website.
A very valuable organization in our community. Well, heads up for drivers, there's a new traffic signal in North Augusta, just off exit 1 on West Martintown Road. It's in the direction of downtown and will help you turn left on a Knobcone Avenue in the direction of North Augusta High School. Many drivers tell us a light is much needed. Right now, the lights are flashing to let drivers know they'll be active soon. We're told the traffic light will begin operation in the coming weeks.
Coming up in sports, a new era begins for Augusta Prep basketball. Here, who's taking the reins on the court. That's headed your way after the break in sports.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Your journey starts with
On Your Sideline, sponsored by Chandler Law Firm.
There aren't many women who decide to lead a boys' athletic program, no matter the sport. But that didn't stop Kim Schlein from taking the job anyways. The longtime area coach will now become the head of Augusta Prep boys basketball. Schlein was approached last month after 4-year head coach Sam Gruber announced that he would be stepping down. The former Razorbacks coach was his right hand this season, leading the Cavs to the Final Four for the first time since 2014. Schlein retired from Cross Creek last year. She was debating whether to take the job or not. There was a pro that outweighed any con. Schlein's mom wanted to see her be a head coach again. She's now the first woman in the CSRA to lead a GIAA boys basketball program.
You know, you have females coaching in the NFL, you know, and some helping out with the Major League Baseball. So, I mean, I think it's a good standard that, you know, that the women are trying to come up in the men's sports. I really wasn't looking at all that, but now that you say it, yeah, it kind of means a lot.
All it takes is one. Schlein spent this past season as a boys JV basketball coach. She's also the head varsity track and field coach at Prep. Well, after entering the transfer portal from Georgia State, Grovetown's Malik Ferguson has a new home. Ferguson is committed to Tennessee Tech. As a sophomore, he played in 25 games for State. He is a 6'4" guard. Ferguson was on the Warriors State winning team in 2022. That carousel continues.
Best of luck to him at Tennessee Tech. Thanks for that, Alyssa. 3-degree guarantee brought to you by Tub Doctor. Our forecast, 74, actual high, 74. $50 heading towards the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Augusta. Now look at our 7-day forecast just after the break.
The First Alert team, named best in Georgia.
create an oasis in your own.
Welcome back, folks. Going back out to SRP Park. More and more fans starting to trickle in here. We got temperatures right now at 73 degrees. It's a beautiful afternoon to be at the ballpark. And if you are heading out there tonight, temperatures will be falling into the 50s by the end of game time, so you may want to take a jacket. Sunset tonight is 7:59 p.m. Tomorrow, we get our first 8 p.m. sunset of the year. Now, our latest sunset of the year will head our way later in June. June 22nd is when we'll get our 8:41 p.m. sunset, so that will be the latest of the year. But for tomorrow, first 8 p.m. sunset for us. Keeping our skies mostly clear this evening and tonight. Our temperatures will be able to drop to the 40s by early tomorrow morning. So once again, if you're going to be up early, you're going to need that jacket the first part of the day. But by the afternoon, we are expecting temperatures to be a little bit warmer than the last few days, hitting the upper 70s and staying mostly sunny throughout the day tomorrow. Once we get into Friday, we are expecting temperatures to be closer to 50 waking up, so not quite as cool, but those afternoon highs will be much warmer, most likely in the mid-80s for us, and going to hang on to plenty of dry weather all the way through the weekend. 7-day forecast, if you have any Easter plans, it's just going to be cloudy, but it will be dry. Next week is when we're starting to track a better chance for a few storms.
Thanks, Riley. We're back live on 26 News at 7.
And for News 12 at 10 and 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching.